Welcome to another edition of Highliner News. I'm Eliza.
And I'm Carson. Earlier this year, VCHS added a new food service.
Reporter Mara Thompson visits the Grab and Go cart.
It is a new cart that we got this year from a grant, and it's up by Mrs. Wager's room, and it's real fun. And you can come and grab breakfast in the bag and go. Well, it's for kids that get here a little late and need to get something to eat, and they can come and see me, and if they run out of time, to come down to the cafeteria. I have Rice Krispie treats, cookies, fruit, juice, milk, Uncrustables, which we're going to be running out of soon. You know, breakfast bars, just everything you can get down here. I do like 12 meals to sometimes 19 meals, and then up to 30 to 40 kids come by. So that's quite a bit now. And next year we're going to try to do some new things and maybe a little coffee cart, and so come up and see next year.
Reporting for Highliner News, this is Mara Thompson.
Do you know Mr. Leek?
Reporter Haley Dogleash takes a trip to Washington Elementary to find out what he's all about.
I grew up in Lidgewood, North Dakota. It's a small town in the very corner of the state. It's really close to South Dakota, Minnesota. Grew up there, went to high school there, was there the first 18 years of my life. I went to college here at VCSU. I majored in elementary education, and I have a Phi Ed minor.
Mr. Leek talks about why he became an elementary principal.
I kind of fell into this role. I had a job down in Litchville. Timing was right where they had a principal that was retiring, and the school board and superintendent approached me, asked me if I'd be interested in filling that role. I always thought I would be eventually, maybe not as soon as it happened, and one thing led to another, and here I am. I think this age group interests me a great deal because I'm pretty sure I act just like them on most days. I think I'm probably just the biggest kid in this school, and you never know what you're going to get 4th through 6th grade. They make a lot of mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes, but we learn from them, and it's just a lot of fun.
He also compares the easiest and hardest parts of the job.
The easiest part of my job is probably eating all the birthday treats that get brought to me. That's always a highlight and one of the things I look forward to every day. Challenging part, sometimes student behavior is frustrating. Nobody wants to deal with it, but again, it's back to those mistakes that we learn from and go forward. So we address them, learn, and go forward.
From Highliner News, this is Haley Dalgleish.
The 7th grade students had a taste of computer coding this semester.
Reporter Sadie Jennis visits with the students about coding drones.
Recently, Mrs. Belkey's coding class had the opportunity to code drones and fly them in the hack. A few students share their experiences.
The most fun thing about these drones is we learn how to code them and how they go into certain spots.
I've learned how to problem solve.
The most challenging thing about coding is trying to get the drone to a certain spot that you need to get to.
We've been coding drones for about a month now, and we've just started coding them so that we make them go to a certain point and then try to make it land into the hula hoop.
This is Sadie Jennis, reporting for Highliner News.
Luke Ploggins pursues his baking passion.
Reporter Haley Dogleash cooks up the story.
Well, I've been baking since I could stand on a stool, so whenever I'd see my dad making pasta or something in the kitchen, I'd stand on the stool and just watch. And that happened for about 9 years. So at about 9 I started to actually cook and bake. So I've actually made my own cake recipe, and I actually have a journal about testing about a bunch of recipes. There once upon a time I made tiramisu, and I think that was my #1 recipe that I made, and it's my favorite dessert, so that's good.
Along with baking, Luke likes mixology.
Yes, I actually have an Instagram account where I put all my creations on there, so I really like making drinks. Honestly, I go impromptu for most of them, but the #1 thing that I've made is a homemade eggnog.
He also talks about why he likes baking.
You could be alone and you don't need to be sad about it. So. Practically baking is usually done with one person, so you don't need other people's help. so you can be independent.
For Highliner News, this is Haley Dalgleish.
Every month, top students are selected for the 7th and 8th grade based on certain criteria, such as working to potential, respect for peers and staff, along with being honest and trustworthy.
April Students of the Month are 7th graders Kayana Puckett and Lucas Compson Lorenz, and 8th graders Madison Maley and Caleb Smith.
Hi, my name is Kayana Puckett.
My name is Lucas Compson Lorenz.
My name is Madison Maley.
My name is Caleb. I'm April Student.
And I'm April Student of the Month.
Kiana's favorite subjects in school are social studies, band, and art. Lucas's hobbies include fishing, playing video games, watching dirt track and drag racing, and bowling. Madison's hobbies are drawing, hanging out with friends, and spending time with family and pets. Caleb's favorite subjects in school are math and physical education. His hobbies include playing Fortnite, running, and eating.
For Highliner News, this is Presley Curtis.
A dedication was performed before the first varsity track meet at the new Dakota Bank track.
Reporter Molly Doctor shares the story.
Last Monday, Valley City held the first high school track meet on the new track. Before the meet, the Jefferson students sang the national anthem, and a memorial was held for the late coach, Bill Jansen.
In 1970, Bill Jansen began his career coaching and teaching at Valley City High School. Throughout his 33 years coaching at VCHS, Jansen was named State Coach of the Year 7 times and also named National Coach of the Year in 1979. From 1970 to 2003, Highliner boys and girls track and field and cross and country teams won 58 conference titles and 5 state titles. He began the FCA chapter at VCHS and was advisor for over 20 years. He was a founding chapter member of the Valley City Optimist Club. In 1989, Coach Bill Jansen was inducted into the North Dakota High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame, and in 2001 was inducted into the National High School Athletics Coaches Association Hall of Fame.
Reporting for Highliner News, this is Molly Doctor.
Although keyboarding is not a popular 7th grade class, students find out later it's an important skill.
Reporters Abby Meyer and Michaela Walla bring you the story.
Although keyboarding is a class that students hate to take, it is truly an important skill. By being required to take this class, students go from being average at typing to being advanced. Mrs. Callahan shares her point of view on this.
Because technology is so huge in all the careers that you can go into. But the technology is, like I said, is in all of our framework. Your phones are little mini computers. So you're using technology all the time, and people, it's almost like their heart and their soul, we're so used to technology we don't even realize that we're using it every day.
You don't see when Phi-Ed teachers go on their computers, but they also need the skills other teachers need, along with music teachers. Students use keyboards every day when they are on their phones texting, and we don't realize it. This is Abby Meyer reporting for Highliner News.
Teaching elementary physical education is very challenging.
Reporter Kelsey Crewell talks to Mr. Suffolk about his job.
Mr. Suffolk plays all day, but it's harder than it seems.
We usually have one activity a day, but we got 16 classes, so every 15 minutes they're just coming in, so I don't have a lot of time to change over different activities.
Mr. Suffolk has no problem keeping the kids occupied.
A lot of times I do activities that they do, whether they're in school or out of school. A lot of kids, I do some activities where they're like, oh, I played this at daycare, or we do this during the summer months, so I do activities that they kind of already know. I am just a human video game to them. So you got to be really active and loud and kind of crazy sometimes, and act like their age. I do the Mrs. A. I call it the Mrs. A, where we do the clapping thing or the shh, 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 and then they repeat. Sometimes I have to use my whistle, or sometimes I even have to yell to catch their attention.
He shares his favorite part about coming to work every day.
I get to act like a 5-year-old every day. Get to go play, run around and get sweaty and have fun with the kids.
Reporting for Highliner News, this is Kelsey Crewald. A big shout out to 3rd grader Quinn Kruger for getting 1,000 AR points. Quinn loves Harry Potter series and is inspired by his dad and brothers. Good job, Quinn.
Thank you for watching our shows over the past 8 months. Highliner News will return again in October with a new batch of reporters. So from all of us at Highliner News, we say farewell.